This is the intro song. This is the intro song. This is the intro song. Change, change, change. This is the intro song. This is the intro song. This is the intro song. Boy, I hope I have enough for laundry.
Welcome back to In the Jungle. Thanks for joining us. Today we've got our change episode because everything seems like it's changing. You know, the leaves are changing, the weather's changing, change is changing.
I'm changing my sexual orientation from gay to straight.
He's doing that.
Exactly.
I'm changing my toilet paper brand from Charmin to something else.
And I'm changing my car make from Ford to Toyota, maybe. I'm just kidding. I'm being
Yeah, I
gay
wouldn't
and I'm
do
going to
that.
drive a Ford.
I wouldn't do that because
Okay.
I heard they're unstoppable.
Ah.
Literally.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I got it.
this episode is going to be all about change. So to begin, we're going to stay exactly the same and begin with You Can't Make This Stuff Up. An Oregon woman is facing up to $3,000 in fines because her pet rooster, aptly named Mr. Rooster, has been violating city noise ordinances for the past 5 months. Mr. Rooster declined to comment about his antics, but other residents of the neighborhood have described him as being very cocky.
A mischievous rodent is racking up the YouTube views after a squirrel went over to investigate a GoPro camera left as a bait by a thoughtful cameraman. The video shows the squirrel trying to figure out what the GoPro is, then grabbing it and taking it up to his tree home before being distracted, I don't know, maybe an acorn, and dropping the GoPro. GoPro is famous for having some crazy footage, but this one, it's freaking nuts.
A New York man named Kevin Cotter was divorced by his wife back in 2009, and poor Kevin just really hasn't been the same since. To mark his 5-year anniversary of being a divorcee, Cotter is publishing a book called 101 Uses for My Ex-Wife's Wedding Dress. The book is 256 pages long somehow and consists almost entirely of pictures of him using the dress for ridiculous things, such as being a zombie bride, a hairdresser's gown, a parasol for his sun tanning, and our personal favorite, a camouflage uniform for hunting in the snow. Because who needs a prenup when you have 101 uses for your ex-wife's wedding dress?
A Michigan man who is in prison for armed robbery recently lost one of his prized possessions, an air mattress. A federal circuit court unanimously was a luxury and that he should not be given one while in prison. The man, Richard Boone II, claims that due to a large number of surgeries and a hip replacement, doctors told him he needed to have either an air mattress or take drugs. Boone was allowed the air mattress for 6 months because he claimed that the prison's mats were too, quote, crappy. To which the Michigan Assistant Attorney General responded, quote, yeah, that's kind of the point. So the moral of the story here is if you don't want to sleep on an air mattress, don't go to prison.
Lastly, it was just announced that NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox all chose not to air President Obama's primetime speech about his new immigration policies because it would interrupt their primetime programming. Also, it's Sweeps Week. Let's use this to introduce a new segment we're calling Seriously.
Seriously? Seriously? Seriously?
Seriously, if you wanted to watch the president's address, you would have to turn to Univision or Telemundo. That's not a joke. I wish it was. Because unless you have cable, your options to watch the President of the United States of America address our nation are limited to Espanol-speaking networks. It's worth noting that Telemundo opted to cease its broadcast of the Latin Emmys because Telemundo believes that the Mexican people need to hear what the American president needs to say more than they need to know which of their favorite shows will win awards.
ABC examined about it, stating that the White House didn't, quote, officially request primetime viewing for 15-minute speeches. Seriously, remember, Telemundo had to cancel the live Latin Emmy broadcast. But ABC thinks that viewers will be so upset if they don't know who Dr. McDreamy is going to hook up with this week.
CBS isn't any better, opting to show us a new episode of The Big Bang Theory instead of the president's address. Seriously, CBS. This one baffles me because I know most of CBS's viewers were asleep by the time the president came on, but at least do it for your dignity.
NBC chose to air The Biggest Loser instead. And seriously, NBC, it's like they're trying to remind us all that they are the biggest loser when it comes to all things not named Brian Williams, Matt Lauer, Lauren Michaels, Jimmy Fallon, and The Roots.
In all seriousness, we're not too surprised that Fox opted not to air The President, but everyone was caught off guard when they replaced their regularly scheduled programming with Christopher B. Stokes' 2012 blockbuster, No Vacancy, to show their own policy on immigration.
This has been Seriously with Drew and Theodore. Keep watching In the Jungle. We have some great stuff coming up for you.
Yesterday I swallowed some food coloring. The doctor says I'll be okay, but I feel like I've died a little inside.
I touched her hand. Her hand touched her boob. By transitive property, I got some boob. Man, algebra is cool.
The only crimson tide I'm fearing is the one that happens once a month.
My penis was in the Guinness Book of World Records. Then the librarian called the police.
I've been told my dick is like Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. What's a 6.9? A good thing to screw up by a period. Accidentally wore a red shirt and khakis at Target today. Long story short, I think I've been promoted to assistant manager.
What the do you mean you're out of Kung Pao chicken?
I don't know who this Rorschach guy is, but it seems like he has about 1,000 paintings of me having sex with him.
So I just found out I only need a 357.55% on my next test to get an A in the class. War Eagle.
How do you know you're at a gay picnic? All the hot dogs taste like
Snort a line of Splenda. Call that Diet Coke.
Study tip. Stand up, stretch, take a walk, go to the airport, get on a plane, never return.
Life hack. Save money by using both sides of the toilet paper.
How many cops does it take to change a light bulb? None. They just beat the room for being black.
So I just heard that Alabama changed the drinking age to 32 in order to keep alcohol out of high schools.
On two chairs. Two chairs.
Hello, and welcome back to another edition of On Two Chairs. My name is Devin, and today with me is our very first returning guest, the male model. So the last time that you were here, two things about you were different. One, you were being interviewed by my predecessor, the great Matt Barnes. And two, you were not old enough to drink, legally speaking. And today is his 21st birthday, so super proud of you, man. You survived in the very volatile field of work that is male modeling. So good work, man. Super proud of you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What do you plan on doing now that you can drink for the first time ever, legally or illegally?
I plan on enjoying an adult beverage legally.
Are you aware that if you had drank before that you were 21, that your body would literally explode?
I was aware of this. This is why I have avoided it at all costs. Seemed pretty risky to me, but the risk did not seem worth the reward.
Understandable. Are you also aware then that there are over 723 types of alcohol available?
This is news to me, but you know what? We might as well try them all sometime in our lifetime.
What's the highest number that you can count to?
I would probably venture around 12. Around 12 easy, and then I just start guessing.
Okay. So I have you, before you had previously said that you read at a 3rd grade level, but that was when you were that was before you could legally drink. Now that you can drink, do you consider yourself to read at a 1st grade level?
I would definitely say yes, that I have moved up to a 1st grade level. So I can definitely read a lot more good than I could before.
Good for you. Okay.
Thank you.
So here's another fun fact. Because you're a male model and you constantly have to, cut weight and do abs and stuff like that, are you aware of the fact that diet drinks will get you drunk quicker?
Honestly, I didn't know there was any other type than diet drinks. So
So what you're
No.
saying is that you don't know that, in your stupid opinion, you're telling me that you didn't know that Diet Coke was different than regular Coke?
I thought it was just sold to fat people and people that wanted to stay skinny. So honestly, I thought it was regular Coke.
God, you're such a Can we get somebody with an actual IQ on this show sometime? God, whatever. We'll finish this out. All right. So are you then, by that, I don't know, I feel weird calling it logic, because that would imply that you're using your brain, which, clearly don't have any.
Yes, sir.
Besides, having impeccable hair and wonderful abs and a great sense of style, what makes you better than everybody else in the world?
Well, honestly, I feel that now that I'm reading at a first grade reading level, that everybody should probably try and catch up to that. So I would probably have to say that my reading level puts me above everybody else, probably even above the president.
All right, so I'm just going to throw this out here. I don't know if you know this or not, but Jose Canseco, largely considered to be one of Major League Baseball's stupidest players of all time, reads at a 5th grade elite reading level. How does that make you feel?
Honestly, it makes me feel that the Major League Baseball Association needs to step their game up, as well as finding more smarter athletic players.
It's really well said. Great use of English language here. So we have a tradition on Two Chairs where we give a gift to people, but while they're here. So we heard that you don't drink regular Coke because you're some sort of communist or some like that. So we got you a Diet Coke, and we poured a lot of alcohol into it. So now that you're legally able to drink Diet Coke, I just thought I would offer this to you.
Oh, why, thank you.
So take a sip and experience being drunk for the first time in your life. So what do you feel now that you're drunk for the first time in your life?
Feels different.
Different in what way? Tell me in great detail. I'll take this. I don't want you overdosing on alcohols.
You know when Peter takes those children to Neverland? Feels like that.
Are you talking about the musical starring Christopher Walken that's coming up in a couple weeks?
I don't mean to give any secrets away, but yes.
Okay. Well, I don't have any more questions for you, and I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to not killing any more of my brain cells by just kind of being in your presence.
Oh,
so,
me too.
I'm going to end this interview. So for the male model, I'm Devin Dalton. This has been On Two Chairs, and this is Diet Coke. We didn't actually put any alcohol in it whatsoever. It's called the placebo effect, but he's too stupid to know what that means. You have a great night.
Pin that.
Hey party people. So if you're anything like me, you have life crises like all the time. Like, what am I gonna do with my life? Well, if you're unhappy with your current situation, it's time to make a change. But what kind of change? Well, probably the easiest kind of change to make if you're stuck in a kind of lull is a wardrobe change. So today I'm going to teach you how to change your look. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is cut your hair. Perfect! Nice and drastic so nobody recognizes you. Alright, let's move on to the wardrobe. Pick a shirt no one would expect you to wear. Something like this. Alright, I would totally wear this shirt. Alright, now it's time to accessorize. Try some bracelets. And go for ones that make lots of noise. And obviously you're going to need to pick some earrings out. And go to the section of the store you're not used to. So shiny. Now if you want a big change, I'm talking like permanent accessories, you should totally get a tattoo. But make sure it's something meaningful or inspirational, something that you can explain the importance of. So maybe it's cold outside. You can add a scarf, really make a statement. Lipstick can really change how you look. And make sure you pick a color that pops. This should be good. Really lather it on there. Don't miss any spots. Careful, you might get it on your teeth. Perfect. And now you've got this whole new look. And people will be like, oh my gosh, she's so fabulous. I mean, if you do it right. And you'll either absolutely love it, or one day you'll look in the mirror and be like, oh and you'll wish you could go back to your old look. Sometimes change is good. Sometimes it's overwhelming. If you're gonna make a change, just make sure you do it for yourself, not anybody else. As my girl Miley says, forget the haters, because somebody loves you. And she's right. Or there's that other quote, be the change you want to see in the world. And if you want to see people with shorter hair in the world, perfect.
Thanks for watching our change episode. I hope we didn't shock you with too much change, but yeah, there it is. Everything's changing.
We do have some sad news, though. We're going on a little 2-week break as finals come up and as Thanksgiving rolls around. So we'll be back on December the 11th. So make sure you tune in for that episode.
Yep, and it will be our final episode of the season, and unfortunately, my last episode. So stick around. It's going to be great stuff. Extended special edition season finale for season 5 of In the Jungle. My farewell episode. It's going to be crazy. We're going to have some of this and some of that.
And things of assortment.
And it's going to be freaking nuts.
So make sure that you tune back in on December 11th at 8 o'clock as normal. And say goodbye to Drew as he leaves us at In the Jungle.
And stick around now for some creds and definitely some bloops. It's been great having you.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm David Letterman, mother.
Difference between the I've already.
Christ, Thomas.
Want to know the difference between? Can I go? Okay, cool. Want to know the difference between?
Oh my god. All right, I'll read it again.
Video shows the squirrel trying to figure out.
Don't act like it's super weird to say it that way. Squirrel.
Because I say squirrel. I don't go squirrel. It's like in the back of my throat, not squirrel. The man, Richard Boone, the second